I was constantly trying to find happiness in relationships. I just found that guys didn't really care. They didn't care about me. A lot of guys said, they said they like me, some said they love me, but almost all of them were unfaithful to me, and that just made me feel so worthless. I was brought up in a good home. My mum was Hindu and I guess my dad's agnostic. When I was at intermediate, we had new neighbours move in. They were Christian and they just sort of totally differently to anyone else I knew. And they just made me feel so welcome when I went there. And the mum especially, she just was really genuine and I could tell that her love was so real. When I was at high school, I went to a Christian youth group with my friends. An older girl there asked me one night, if you were to die tonight, would you go to heaven? Thinking about heaven and how it freaked me out, but I quickly forgot about it because I was more interested in one of the guys that I had met that night. Around this time, I got together with another guy, and at first I was really attracted to him because he seemed really funny and carefree, but soon our relationship got quite serious quite quickly, and I saw another side to him. He was really manipulative, but at the same time I was emotionally attached to him, so I tried to break up with him a few times, but I'd always end up going back to him. He and his family went into drugs, and I found myself smoking and drinking. We used to smoke marijuana. I'd laugh a lot and I'd feel really lightheaded and really chilled out, but then I started to get paranoid and quite depressed. One night there was a fight involving me, and I just saw how everyone was so controlled by alcohol, and I was so ashamed at the way I was living. I was so sick of it, I was just over it. I wanted to get out, but I just didn't know how. He kind of realised that I didn't have any feelings for him, and so we managed to break up for good. When I was 18, I started going clubbing, and I loved it because I loved dancing and I loved hanging out with my mates, so we used to go almost every weekend. But some nights I'd get really drunk. I'd get so drunk that I didn't even remember where I had been or what I had done that night. It just felt like I was walking around with my eyes closed. I was getting a ride home early one morning after clubbing, and it had been a really horrible night. On the way we dropped someone off, and while we were there, one of the guys that I didn't even know, he called me something really offensive, and it just, I got so angry, and my friend, he didn't even defend me, he just laughed at me, and that made me so upset even more, and so I just started to walk home. They came after me, to apologise, but I just ran away, and even then, I could tell they didn't really care. As I was walking, I just couldn't stop thinking about what that guy had said, and I just remember feeling so hurt, but then at the same time, I just realised that it was exactly what I had become. At that moment, my eyes were open to see where my life had taken me, and I was just so ashamed of everything. All the wrong things I had done kept coming back to my mind, and I just felt so ashamed, and I really wanted to start again. I wanted to get rid of all the filth. I wanted to get rid of all the bad memories and start again, but I didn't know how. And then I remembered what I'd heard about Jesus, how God would judge us for the wrong things that we've done, and I knew that because of what I'd done, I deserved to go to hell. As I had these overwhelming thoughts, it was like another thought came into my mind, that Jesus had chosen to die on the cross for my sins so that I didn't have to go to hell even though I deserved it. And I remembered hearing that, he'd take away my sins and that he wouldn't even remember them anymore. As I walked home, I just bawled my eyes out because, I'd realised what I'd done, and I was so sorry, and I just telling God how sorry I was, and it was like I couldn't tell him enough. I had to keep on telling him. When I got home, I told Mum to wake me up so I could go to church, and she tried to talk me out of it, saying, you look really sick, you look really run down, just go another time. But I knew that I had to go, and I told her I can't explain it, I just have to go. That night when I walked into church, it just felt so pure, and I had such a peace when I walked in. I just knew that this is where God wanted me. And I remember hearing we sang a song that said, "Come just as you are," and because there were times before this I thought, I have to be clean. I'll get clean first, and then I thought I'll get clean first, and then I'll become a Christian. but I saw that I couldn't do it without Jesus. The next morning I woke up and I just had such a deep peace in my heart. I just can't explain it, but I just felt so clean, and it was just like a burden had just been lifted off my shoulders, and I felt so free. I got kind of like butterflies in my tummy because I was so excited. Now that I'm a Christian, it's like it feels like God's really changed my desires and taken away the old mindsets and ways of thinking that I had. He's taken away my desire to party and get drunk, and he's given me a desire to follow God, which I never had before, and a desire to be clean, which I didn't have before. I'm not trying to fill the emptiness in my heart with meaningless relationships, because Jesus has filled my heart with real love. God's really filled my heart with love so that I can love other people, even if they hurt me. I still have my hard times and my struggles and challenges, but I don't have to go through them alone. I've got someone helping me. I've got Jesus helping me and giving me strength. My name is Nicola. Now I have hope.